Rock Chalk Jayhawk with me, Jayhawk, a podcast brought to you by the Field of 68 Media Network. Make sure you don't forget to rate, review, and hit the subscribe button on iTunes or any platform you get your podcast from. Make sure we get that 5-star rating. Okay, our guest today, one of my favorite Jayhawks to watch since I stopped playing at KU. He's a rising star in the NBA, plays with a ton of joy for the game that everyone loves. I'm proud to welcome a Hawkins favorite and my daughter's first crush, Devonte Graham. Devonte, how you been, man?
What's up, my guy? I've been good, man. Can't complain. How you doing?
Good, man. Same way here, man. Just ripping and running, man. Trying to get this podcast off and going, man. And, again, thank you for coming on. But the Hawkins fan, we good, man. We love watching you, man. That's all we can say, man.
Hey.
We love following you, man. So I'm glad to have you on, man.
I appreciate it. All the love there, you and everything, man. Definitely.
For sure. Well, let's get right into the thick of things, man. Obviously with COVID, man, how has that affected your workout routine?
At first it was real bad because everything was shut down. They wouldn't let people into the gym, into the arena. So probably for like the first month and a half, 2 months, it was a struggle to try to find a gym and get consistent workouts other than doing it in my garage or on my own. And it kind of opened back up and found a gym. And so just basically doing individuals for the last 5-6 months.
Yeah, for sure. Because that was my next question coming, like, how did you counter that? And you said, you were doing workouts in your own garage. So, obviously any of the kids that are listening out today, they know you don't have to have a gym in order to get better working out. Because obviously with COVID, you were able to go into your own garage and still do some workouts. So what kind of workouts were you doing in your garage?
Well, thankfully the Hornets was able to provide us with some weights and, a bike, different things like that. So I was riding a bike daily, jump roping, body weight squats and lateral squats, and I was doing yoga, just a whole bunch of stuff to try to, stay prepared for whatever may come. So just trying to stay in shape and stay strong at the same time.
And I know that's definitely a testament of the type of player you are, man. You're not going to let COVID or anything slow you down from getting to where you want to get and following your dreams and your goals, man. So I think that's one of the cool things about you. But, I mentioned in the intro that, you play with joy with the game. Where did that come from, man?
I think it's just my mom. I put everything on my mom, man. She always had that smile on her face, always been a hard worker, raising me and my sister. But she, like I said, even though like she was going through tough times, it was like she always smiled through it. And I think I get a lot of that from her. Even in bad times, maybe not be having a good game or whatever the case may be, you don't let everybody see that you're down. So you keep that smile on your face, keep good energy, keep positive vibes around you. And that's what I just like to live by.
For sure, man. It's fun to watch you and that you have an infectious smile, man, and it just bleeds off on the other people, man. So I know you will, man. Keep that up, man. So you played for a legendary program in high school. Talk about your pre-college days at Brewster Academy.
Oh, man. It was definitely a different experience for me being away from home. I think it was the best decision I had made as far as like my basketball career. Coach Smith and Coach Lee and those guys out there, did an amazing job of like getting guys prepared for college. It was super cold, but I loved the competition that I had, been playing against and playing with on my team. And you can't say enough about that program because they was like one of the top elite prep schools in the nation. So, a big shout out to them.
Yeah. Who were some of the guys that you played with that some of these guys listening in may know about?
The biggest name people probably know about, Donovan Mitchell. I played with Isaac Copeland. I played with Jared Terrell. Who else was on that team? Chris McCullough. Kevin Zabo. Who else we had? Who else did we have? I can't even remember. We had a nice group of guys. Yeah.
That's a spot right there.
Yep.
Well, your journey to KU was a little bit interesting. So when did you know that Appalachian State wasn't the right spot for you? And talk about that free DT movement.
I don't know exactly. I committed early. I wasn't a high recruit, high major, 5-star prospect. So a lot of the guys that I was playing with at AAU was, getting looks like from Louisville, UNC, and all the top programs. And I was getting looks from like East Carolina and App State and Western Kentucky and schools like that. So, that was kind of my range. And at the time I went to App State and, I fell in love with the coaching staff, honestly. And I had took a visit and I thought, like that's where I wanted to play. And then, so I committed before my senior year. And my senior year, I started just killing. So I was like I started believing in myself more. So I'm like, maybe I can play like at one of these Division I top programs. So I just decided, asked them if I could get out of my letter of intent. And then that's when everything let me go. So that's how I got to actually going to there. And that's that contract and wouldn't let me, explore my options. So I don't even know who started the free DT movement, but it definitely went viral and worldwide. Had ESPN and everybody having free DT articles. It was crazy.
Yeah. So Jeff Goodman, and he's one of the founders for 68 Media. He took to Twitter and put pressure on Appalachian State for the release of your letter of intent. Can you talk about, what it felt like to get a leader of the media to take your back on an issue like that?
I think that was the biggest one right there. Jeff Goodman coming out with that article and putting it, on the platform that he did. It kind of put a lot of pressure on App State and the coaching staffs, because a lot of people felt like he was wrong. Like, you shouldn't just be holding his kid. If he said he doesn't want to come, then obviously, you should be letting him go. But I definitely appreciate Jeff for doing that because he definitely didn't have to. But I remember doing a phone interview with him for like an hour. And after it got released, it was – that's where it went. It kind of blew up.
For sure. So, shout out Jeff Goodman. Shout out Jeff Goodman. Hey, so when in your career did you know that, and we're talking more so, high school to college, when did you know that, man, this basketball thing, I can take this to another level?
I honestly started believing it as far as like me being good, I think after Brewster. Once I was going to Brewster, I don't think I played with that confidence. Throughout high school, I was always kind of like shying away from it. I felt like I was good, but I didn't really believe in myself. But I think it was one summer I was playing at a pro-am, and Nolan Smith from Duke, even though I don't like Duke, the Duke guy, he was just like, he was coaching my team. He was like, yo, what? Like, how old are you? Where are you going to school? And I'm like, well, I'm going to Brewster next year. He was like, nah, like, I got to get you to come to Duke. Like, I got to talk to Coach K. Like, you good. Like, you don't even know how good you are, type stuff like that. So I think that kind of boosted my energy and boosted my confidence, just that little, like, you need something to get you over the edge. I think I started to actually kind of believe, like, okay, if he's saying this because I watched him before, I know he's good. Like, I think, I could do that.
Yeah. So why did you decide to come to KU?
Once after the App State stuff had happened, and I had got released, and I had narrowed my schools down to Kansas, NC State, and Virginia, and I took those 3 visits. It was like it wasn't even close. It was like the coaching staff from all 3. It wasn't even close. Out of the water. Fell in love with them. The tradition, you walk around and you see all the Allen Fieldhouse and the legendary stuff that you see around campus. The players at the time on the team, Frank, Jamari, Wayne, Brandon Green, Tyler, Evan, like all those guys. It just felt like home, to be honest. Like, how they say, like, when you want to go somewhere, like you can feel it in you. Like mom felt it. So it was just like, yeah, this is definitely the place I need to be.
So which coach was the first one to kind of reach out to you and say, hey man, we're interested?
It was Coach Rob.
Hey, because they fight over who they bring in.
Yeah, it was Coach Rob. Coach Rob did it, but because of that whole free DT thing, I could never talk to any of the coaches. So they was reaching out to Coach Smith at Brewster. So he tell me like, Kansas called me today, type things like that, because I could never talk to him. But
yeah,
it was definitely Coach Rob.
Yeah, okay. So Coach Rob get the dibs on that one. So what was your favorite game? Yeah, for sure. So what was your favorite game at KU? And I know you had a bunch. I know you probably got a bunch. But what was your favorite one that stood out?
Oh man, it's the triple overtime game against Oklahoma.
Yeah.
That's got number one. My sophomore. Yeah, that's number one.
Okay. So what do you think as far as arenas, man? And you played in a bunch of them, and no matter what arena you go into, when it's not the field house, man, everybody wants to get KU's best shots, the big target on the back. So what do you think the hardest arena was to play
in? In the Big 12 or
in general, yeah, anywhere.
That's tough. That's tough because it sells out everywhere we go. Yeah. So it's like it's so hard. K-State, you got to say K-State for Big 12 because it was ridiculous in there. Iowa State, West Virginia, I think those three was the hardest. What's the hardest?
Yeah, so I know back in my playing days, man, when we went to K-State, man, I used to be getting hit with coins. They used to let chickens out live chickens out on the floor.
I heard.
Were they doing any of that crazy stuff, man?
Nah, it's a little bit more, new rules nowadays. You can't do that kind of stuff nowadays. You can barely hold up signs now. So, yeah, I didn't want to get no live chicken. I ain't want none of that.
Hey, so, all right, so how did KU prepare you for playing in the NBA?
I think we ran the most ball screens out of any team, in the nation. To be honest, like every play ended up in a ball screen action, and that's all really the NBA is, especially for a point guard. It's like being able to read defenses, and make the right plays. So I think, with our system and the way we play up tempo, fast, get out in transition, and it kind of fits perfectly for where I'm at right now with the Hornets because we got a young team playing fast, a lot of ball screen, reading defense, stuff like that. So, and then the competition, you play the best competition. Obviously, being at KU, you playing all the Dukes, the Kentuckys, and so a lot of those guys you see in the NBA when you get here, and so it's just like the competition one, preparing guys. Coach Self and them do a good job of getting guys prepared to get to the NBA and be successful.
Yep. So we're gonna go right back to KU. Give me your favorite. I don't even know if there is a favorite, man. Give me your favorite boot camp story.
Oh my God. I wouldn't say favorite, but
How about
scariest?
Okay, scary.
Scariest. Okay, it was my freshman year. We had the Marines come in. You can hear me?
Yep, you're good.
Okay. We had the Marines come in, and so we were doing like the regular boot camp, and then we had the Marines come in for like 3 days. So we had to get up at like 4 o'clock one morning and go to the swimming pool. It was like we ran 15 feet, swim back across, push-ups, but it all had at the same time. You had to start the whole thing. We was in the pool from like 4 o'clock to like 8. Like, I think I started to turn real soggy. You know how you turn real soggy? But they put us in 15 feet of water, and people couldn't swim. So, like, and it happened to be all the big guys. Yeah. All the Cliff, Alexander, Jamari Traylor, like, guys like that who couldn't swim. So they had to go to the middle, and we had to hold them up. Like, 2 guys had to hold them up, and it was me and Tyler Self holding up Cliff Alexander in 15 feet of water. Like, we treading water trying to hold him up. And Cliff went under one time, and then he just started panicking, like, and he hit me in the head, and I went under, and, like, I couldn't breathe. Like, I thought I seen my life pass before my eyes. I was like, man, this might not be me. I thought that wasn't for me.
That is a great story right there, man.
Yeah. We all survived.
Hey, so let's talk a little bit about your senior year, man. You know, coming off of from losing Frank and Wayne, a lot of people counted the team out, and some even thought, 14 straight isn't even possible. Mm-hmm. So did that give you extra motivation to come out and prove everyone wrong? Like, can you talk about that mindset?
Definitely. I remember it was just like, I remember doing an interview and somebody asking, like, do you think this is going to be the team? Laughing, like before I answered the question, because it was just like, it was so disrespectful to me that I felt like, I can't even let that happen, not with everything that we've been through and coming in the senior year. You don't want to be that team that ends the streak. But as a team, we had lost like two early home games that season, and so everybody was counting us out. Practices was super tough, but Coach Self did a good job of just like keeping our heads on straight, and I felt like everybody kind of locked in after we had lost those 2 early games, and it was a lot on me as a senior point guard, but I took the challenge on. I loved it, and we ended up winning it on the road at Texas Tech. So it was
getting to the Final Four. And getting to the Final Four.
Sure, for sure.
Yeah. So you mentioned Coach Self. So can you talk about how Coach Self and his staff elevated your game and instilled confidence in you and helped you to become the leader that you are today?
Yeah, for sure. It's funny because I was just telling this story yesterday. I had to do a leadership call yesterday, like talking to a guy, me and the guy just talking about, how to become a better leader and stuff like that. And he was just like, what'd you think made you be a leader? And I was like, Coach Self, like, because when I had first got there, like I said, my freshman year, he was telling me like, yo, you're a leader. Like, you're going to be one of the leaders on this team. And I'm looking around, I'm like, nah, like, not me. Like, we got Wayne, we got Jamar, we got Perry Ellis, we got Frank, like, Brandon Green, got all these top guys. Like, I'm supposed to be at App State. I'm just going to chill. He's like, no, like, you're going to be one of the leaders on this team. And he just kept pushing me. The talk, you got to use your voice. Can't be scared of your voice, Devonte. Like, tell these guys they need to, if they're messing up, tell them, do this. So I think him pushing me, that kind of gave me that confidence. And then I seen, guys actually listening, following. And him just telling me, like, you're a natural leader. Like, you don't have to do too much to be a leader, kind of got me, I think, just thinking about being a leader more and then started doing it.
Yeah. Coach Self's great for that, man. It's funny, man. Even with my high school program today, man, I quote Coach Self so much, man. And, what he's done to so many athletes at KU, man. He's just a great all-around guy. So a transition. So from college, when did you feel like, okay, man, I feel like I can be an NBA player? Like, when can you talk about, that mindset and how you felt during that time at college, knowing that, hey, man, I'm in this boat right now in college, but I really feel I can take this to the next level and be successful?
I don't think it was until probably like my junior year, end of junior year, when I was like, kind of like, yeah, like I can really make a living off doing this, like going and playing professionally. Like this, actually, like I've been dreaming about it my whole life. Now I gotta kind of lock in and do it. You know how you just said like people were doubting us on the 14 straight.
Yeah.
You know, after each year you can send in, you know, your name to the draft and see what GMs say about you and what they think. So I did that after my junior year, and I got kind of like a lot of negative, like we don't know if he's good enough, if he's point guard, or we think he's a shooting guard but he's not, or things like that, you know. So that kind of made me elevate my game that summer, going into just to show everybody that I could play point guard, because that was my position. But Frank played it because, you know, we both could play it, you know, and at the time, you know, he was starting point guard, so I just played the two, but I could still play the one. So I just wanted to show people that. But I think in my junior year is when I really started believing it.
Yeah. So, hey, everybody listen right now. If you doubt Devonte, he will prove you wrong. That is a fact. That is a fact. Hey, so let's talk about let's get into draft day a little bit. So, do you have any idea that you get the chance to play for your hometown?
I had no idea because I didn't do a workout for the Hornets. I didn't do an interview or anything like to know that they even wanted me. So like once I got drafted by Atlanta, I was super excited because I'm like, yo, this is not too far from home. Like my mom and everybody can drive, you know, 4.5 hours up the street.
Yeah.
And one of my buddies had like tapped me and was like, yo, they traded you to Charlotte. And I'm like, what? And so I get on Twitter. That's how I found out that I was going to Charlotte, on Twitter. It was like Atlanta Hawks trade Devonte Graham to Charlotte. So then we just like started going crazy, like, oh, we right on the street. Like, oh, yeah, let's go. It was just great. It was great.
That's awesome. So, hey, Devonte, all right, I'm going to read out. I got my little sticky note, man, because it takes a sticky note to read out these stats, man. All right, I'm going to go. Hey, so from rookie year, averaging 4.7 points a game, 2.6 assists, 34 made threes. And then your sophomore season, coming in at 18.2 points a game, 7.5 assists per game, and 218 threes made. Now, that's not it. I'm not finished right now. All right. So then we got, hey, I just want these numbers to come back in your head. So then we got, hey, so 40 points, one game, 40 points, 5 assists, 7 for 12 from 3-point, 35 points, 6 assists, 3 steals in another game, 33 points, 9 assists, 10, just 10 from 16 from 3. Just 10 from 16 from 3. Followed up by 30 points with another 8 from 11 from 3-point. Then we go, let's just go one under. Let's go 29 points. But let's make one more 3 and go 9 threes, 9 for 16 from 3-point. And then you have a 16-point game with 15 assists. I mean, a lot of people in Jayhawk Nation and Hornet Nation, I know they believe that you should have been the most improved player this past year. What did you do in the offseason to make such growth from rookie season to sophomore season?
Man, once I found out we weren't gonna have Kimba, it was like I had to just turn a different switch. And one of the coaches from the Hornets, you know, Nate, my guy Nate, who I worked out with since I've been here, me and him just went to the offseason like, you know, it's a big opportunity for you to play. Like, you were mad you didn't play last year, so it's on you if you want to play next year. Like, we're gonna have to work. So really, I didn't really leave Charlotte at all last year. Like, I didn't do no traveling really. I might have took like one trip with my family. I think I went on a cruise, but other than that, I was just in the gym working. And a lot of the stuff I did was things that Kimba did. You know, it was like somebody has to improve their scoring. Like, we're missing at least 25 points a game right here. Somebody needs to come in and make up for this time. So a lot of off the dribble stuff, a lot of screen and roll, and, you know, trying to get better, improving my percentage from the 3-point line and things like that, that I had to lock into. And so that was the mindset I took, and I just wanted to, you know, make the most of that opportunity.
Yeah.
And that's what I
Yeah, that's awesome. And that, not only what you tried to do, man, that is what you did. So you got
Yeah.
LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and many other high profile NBA athletes spoke out about how they felt you deserve the most valuable player. How did that make you feel knowing that some of the greatest players in the leagues recognize your name? And what does that do for your confidence moving forward?
Definitely builds the confidence. These are some of the greats, like you said, that pay attention and study the game very well. And LeBron is my favorite player since I've been young. So it's like for him to go into the interview in the bubble and say what he said, it definitely motivates you to keep working. Because the people who's been in it and pay attention to the
Yeah.
game, they see that you've been working and what you deserve. Don't want to play unbelievable this year as well, but like you said, the stats, like he said, if that's not improving, then what is? So I
Yeah.
mean, it's definitely a huge motivational thing when you see guys like that shouting you out and giving you that credit.
Hey, well, I'll tell you this, man. The Hawkins household, we were living over here, man. Over here breaking glasses, man. Man, hey, you got early bedtime. This just ain't right, man. This just ain't right, man. But I think one of the cool things about you, Devonte, is just if and Coach Self's a firm believer in this. Taking a negative situation and turning it into a positive, man. And I know that's what you're gonna do. Coming into this third year in your NBA season, man, it's gonna be exciting to see what baggage you take from last year and put that on your back, that chip on your shoulder, and how you use it to make yourself a better player this year. It's gonna be fun to watch that. That's for sure. But let's get into Michael Jordan, man. So Michael Jordan is, the GOAT in so many people's opinion. What is it like knowing that, he's only one phone call away from getting advice or any type of motivation? How impactful is that to you?
Man, it's like something you dream of, having all the Jordans and meeting Michael Jordan, because I never got to see him play, so it's like, man, like it's really Mike. I remember the first time I met him, and he was like, "What up, Devonte?" And I'm like, "Oh, like my whole name, like, oh, that's MJ right there." That's like, I was super excited. That was the first time like I ever really been like starstruck. Like, I didn't know what to say. Like, he asked me if I was gonna cut my hair off, and I was like, nah. But he's a good guy. People say what they want to about him and him being tough on his teammates and stuff like that, but he gives good advice. Like when we all together, and I remember somebody asked me what's the best advice he gave me this past year, and he told me don't stop shooting. So I was like, yeah. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna keep shooting that thing, dude.
Hey, well, that's perfect, man. Because leading up into this next question, man, it's perfect. So, you got Steph Curry, Dame Lillard, and they're known for their deep range on the court.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Now you are in that deep range assassins class as well. And I spoke with Coach Self. Coach Self did episode 1 with me,
Yeah.
and one of the things he told me about you, he said, man, one of the best things about Devonte is that he has a short memory. Like, hey, if he misses, hey, water off his back. He's thinking he's ready for the next shot. He has a very short memory. So, have you always had that in you?
Not always, but you learn to, it grows as you get older. You realize you're gonna miss shots. You gonna have bad games.
Yeah.
And when I was in high school, my guy used to always tell me, he used to say, reload every time I shoot. Even if I miss, like I'm in mid-shot, and he would say, reload. Like, he just telling me, like, just get ready to shoot again. So it was like, I kind of always took that with me. Like, even when you shoot, you miss, you got to reload, get ready for the next shot. So that's kind of where I got it from, really.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
not to mention, Coach Self and them used to always next possession, next shot, next whatever. So you gotta move on.
Hey, young guys, man, you heard it from the best. Reload. That's what I'm be telling a lot of guys. Hey, reload. That's my
Yeah,
new word
yeah,
coming from
yeah.
Devonte. Hey, so what can fans expect from you this upcoming season?
Uh, I mean, the same thing. Pretty much being aggressive. I tried to extend my range a little bit more than I did last
I
year.
saw some of that on
Yeah,
Instagram, man.
I've
I
been
saw that.
trying. I've been working on that, man. Dame and Steph and them. I'm trying to get like those guys. So, just being even more aggressive. Always trying to get guys involved. I'm excited. I haven't played in so long, man. I just can't wait to get back on the court, to be honest.
Hey, you know what? Hey, Devonte, man, your range is just, and I'm going off topic. It's unbelievable, bro. It's unbelievable. But I can at least say, man, like I got to witness it early because you remember we used to go way out to Goodwin, Kansas for them basketball camps, and we used to have those half court
Yeah, for the camps.
contests. And you, hey,
Yeah, the
you blow
contest.
everybody out, bro, because you make like 4 in a row, 5 in a row, 6 in a row, and we'd be like. I'd be like, man, how the heck is he making 5 and 6 in a row from half court? But
Yeah.
hey, so I'm assuming now, man, once you step past half court now, you really feel that it's going in.
Honestly, I do. We've been like I take like one dribble over half court and pull up in some of my workouts. Just been working on it constantly, so that you just build that confidence and to be honest, yeah, I do feel like it's gonna go in.
Yeah. All right, Devonte. So we're gonna wrap it up with this, man. We're gonna do some quick fire questions for you, man. Nothing too crazy, man. All right. So what do you miss most about Lawrence?
Allen Fieldhouse.
Okay. If anyone follows you on Instagram and Twitter, they know your shoe game is sick. Your shoe, you just mentioned it, man. I got the Jordans, man.
Yeah.
I got the Jordans. So how much pride do you take in collecting shoes?
I wouldn't say I'm the biggest shoe head because a lot of the times I don't even know the names of the shoes. But since MJ is my owner, owner of the team,
Yeah.
and I side with him, I do get a lot of his shoes. So, but
That's all.
I do love it.
All right. So hey. So what size shoe you wear?
I was 13,
Oh
14.
dang, man.
Can't fit those.
I was hoping you said 12, baby. Hey, so how many pair of shoes do you roughly have?
Probably like 300 plus.
Okay, you switch them up every day?
Nah, not every day. I wear some of the same shoes. I kind of got them in rotation. A lot of them I like to just not wear because I know in a couple years that if I don't wear them, I just keep them. I can sell them for people selling things for $10,000 like a pair of shoes. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I'm gonna just lock these up. So
Yeah. Hey,
yeah.
don't get me wrong, bro. Hey, I guarantee you, man, you could walk through some mud in your shoes and still probably sell them for that same price. Hey, so here we go. I got another one for you, man. PlayStation or Xbox?
PlayStation.
You gonna cop that new PlayStation 5?
I'm trying. People selling that for $2,000 now. I'm like, man, what in the world?
Hey.
But yeah, I'm trying to get one.
All right, so what video game is in your console right now?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
I play Call of Duty every day.
Okay. Hey, that's one of Mav's favorite games right there. Call of
Duty.
Man.
Yes, sir.
I be have to smack him in his head a couple of times to make sure he's going to bed and not staying up late so he's ready for school. Be down there screaming at the mic, man. Screaming at the mic.
That's the only way to do it.
Hey, so if you were in Lawrence for one day, where would you go eat?
Jefferson's.
Okay, yep, that's a hot pick right there. That was actually, man, when I actually came on my visit, man, with Drew Gooden and all those guys, that's where they took us out to Jefferson's, man. So Jefferson's,
that's where they took me too, man. The trend. That's how they must be how they get us.
I know it is, man. It is. All right, so check this out. I asked a similar question like this to Coach Self. So if the 2018 team played the '08 championship team or the 2012 Final Four teams, who would win and why?
Where did Coach Self say, the 2018?
Yeah, he said he had to roll with the 2018 because that's the only way he knows how to win the championship.
Because that's the only way they won it. Yeah. Even though I hate to say it, because I got to roll with my squad.
Yeah, man.
No, I'm going with my squad, man.
Yeah,
I can't go against my squad. Yeah, I can't go against my squad. I was going to say the 2018, but I can't even go. I got to go with my squad. I got to go with
your squad, man, because, back in the day, Devonte, man, we were blessed to go to 2 back-to-back Final Fours in 2002 and 2003. So you already know, man, I got to roll with our squads.
I got to roll with my squad. For sure.
All right, so if you could have played with one player that played for KU after your career, who would it be and why?
If I could play with one player?
Yeah.
That I played with at KU?
Yep. That you play with at KU?
I would say I gotta say my guy Speed, man.
Okay.
That's my guy. Because we started together, we finished together, it would be great, if we played together in the NBA. I mean, we played against each other 4 times a year with him being in Detroit.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you this, man. Mav, he has both. He got the Speed jersey with the Lakers when he's with the Lakers, and he got obviously your jersey. So I know he would be ecstatic if you two ever played together for sure.
Right.
All right. So hey, 2 more for you, baby. What coach has inspired you the most in your career and why?
I gotta say, Coach Self, man. I just think he real inspirational. He know how to, reach guys, and get the best out of them.
Yeah.
Especially for me, like I said, with that leadership stuff and making me believe in myself and just little things he say to make you, elevate your game and even not even with basketball, just personal with, just being a good person. He teach you all those life lessons that you probably wouldn't get from a lot of coaches, and I know a lot of people who play basketball who played at different schools and who don't like their coach, and I'm like, bro, I could never say that about Coach Self, about any of the coaches on the coaching staff.
Yeah.
Like, I would go back anytime they offered me to go back, or if I just wanted to go back, I would go back to KU any day. And I know a lot of guys don't feel like that about their schools or their coaches. So I think that Coach Self definitely and that coaching staff. All
right, last one up for you, man. What was your most memorable moment in the NBA?
Oh, my 40-point game. That's tough. I think the game winner in Madison Square Garden.
That was awesome, man. That was big time. Yeah.
I think that because of how legendary that arena is. Yeah.
In the Garden too, man.
In the Garden. Yeah. It's that for sure.
Well, Devonte, man, appreciate you, man. But that's it for us, Jayhawk Nation. Thanks so much for listening to Rock Chalk Jayhawk with Jayhawk, a podcast brought to you by the Field of 68 Media Network. Make sure you rate, review, and hit the subscribe button on iTunes or any other platform you get your podcast from. Devonte, love you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Hey, kick ass this season. I
appreciate that. I will for sure. Got to.
Yeah, man. Hey, appreciate you, man. Hey, I'll be in touch with you, man.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate you having me, man. All right.
We'll do.